Well, hello, NAILBA. My name is Mark Pellicano, Vice President of our Financial Advisory Network and Key Accounts for Pacific Life. Thank you for joining this session. 2020 has been a crazy year. We've had an election year, we've had a pandemic, and worst of all, I turned 50 years old today. When you look at 2020, I think we've all learned a ton. And one of the biggest aha moments for me, and the thing that really jumps out, is that when I look at the sales results for our industry, for our carriers, for you as GAs, we can exist virtually. And the exciting part about that is we've learned that our consumers can buy virtually, are willing to buy virtually. We've learned our advisors have learned how to sell virtually. So it's really up to carriers like Pacific Life to make sure we're helping you bridge the gap between your clients and the advisors and the GAs. Something else I've learned, which is kind of interesting, is that during a pandemic, that consumers tend to get real curious about life insurance. There have been some stats and notes out there that one I heard was that Google search for life insurance has increased 5 times. I also heard a study from Cerulli that said that of all the financial products that are offered out there, the 2 products that consumers have kind of increased their interest around are long-term care and life insurance. That seems to make sense. Another thing that jumped out at me is some of the concerns that our financial advisors are having. And the 2 biggest ones that are kind of top of the list is one is they're struggling with how to manage their clients' emotions. You got market volatility, you got pandemics, you got all the things that are kind of around us right now. I'm sure it's driving a lot of emotion and a lot of conversations. And then the other part is financial advisors are figuring out and looking out saying, how am I going to build my business virtually? Well, good news, that's why we're all here today. Imagine if you had a system that could virtually put you in the comfort of your client's home, sitting across from them with a cup of coffee, being able to educate and talk to them about topics that they are proactively seeking out for in this day and age. Welcome to the Pacific Life Coffee Breaks. That's exactly what this system is designed to do. Here's how it works. First thing we would do is sit down with you, the GA, and your clients, or you, the financial advisors, to identify a list of clients. We would create a list by looking at age, segmentation of your client demographic, all of it, and create a list that we think would be the best opportunity to have a dialogue around life insurance. Then this invitation that you see on the screen would get sent out by you as an invite to go ahead and join the virtual coffee break. And in this situation, it's things you need to know around life insurance planning. The clients would see this and they would know that if they registered for the event, Pacific Life would send them a really nice coffee mug. And if they actually attend our event, we will also send them a $10 gift card for for Starbucks. So voila, here we are, there's their coffee. Upon registration, we are gathering this information that you see on the screen. We're gathering it for 2 key reasons. One, we want to make sure that we can track and know who plans on attending, and we can connect them with you, the financial advisors or the GAs. And the second thing is, well, we need an address so we can send them their coffee. When clients receive the confirmation that you see on this screen, it makes it real easy. It has a link that will help them connect right to their calendar, whether it's Outlook or whatever, so that that's in there and so that they don't forget. The other person that's receiving these confirmation emails is our internal sales team at Pacific Life. And with that, we're taking that information and we're providing it back to you, the financial advisor or the GA, and making sure you're aware and know who's attending the actual seminar. We also know that people forget, especially in this crazy environment in 2020. So we want to make sure we're staying on top of it and sending reminder emails. So we have three scenarios. We send one the week before, the day before, and even the hour before, just to make sure that your clients don't forget. And now we get to the point where, voila, today's the day of the big seminar. And it's game day, right? I mean, it's the big presentation. You're probably nervous. No need to be. We've got trained presenters that are going to come in and actually do this presentation for you. That's the beauty of partnering with a Pacific Life and our virtual coffee breaks. So let's take a look at some of the slides that we actually talk about in this presentation and in this information that we're providing to your clients. But remember this, as we go through these slides, our number one goal throughout the entire presentation is to educate your clients, to provoke thought around insurance planning, and then drive the conversation back to you. The most important piece. Now, it's always critical to make sure we're branding you, the GA, or you, the financial advisor, with your client. So we always leave room in a slide, sort of a billboard, for you to post, who you are, your company, whatever you want here, if you choose to. Here's the opening slide. We start the presentation with highlighting the fact that we know, and studies have shown, that consumers like them are interested in life insurance right now and are looking for this type of information. We also remind them that it's important to look at a common sense approach on things around buying life insurance and on owning life insurance. And then lastly, we'll drive the importance of taking this information and sitting down with you, the financial advisor or the GA. Now, of course, we got to let them know who we are, Pacific Life, and we show them this beautiful building out here in Newport Beach, California, and give them a little bit about who we are as a company, being a leader in the industry, obviously known as being very ethical and obviously very service-oriented. Some other important things to know about Pacific Life, and consumers also want to know that they're dealing with a company that is financially stable. And when you look at the ratings that you see on this screen and our Comdex score, I think no matter how you view Pacific Life financially, you're going to say, yeah, this company's doing okay. And then lastly, consumers want to know that they're working with a company that thinks about them first. And with Pacific Life being a mutual company, and you kind of look at this slide, you'll see all the improvements and all the thought that the senior leadership at Pacific Life is constantly thinking and putting the policyholders first when it comes to making decisions long-term for Pacific Life. And I think that's the type of thing that consumers do want to hear and want to know, that's top of mind. So enough about Pacific Life. Yes, it's a great company, a great whale, but let's get to why we are here and having this coffee break. These next two slides are critical. Earlier, we talked about how clients' interest in life insurance has risen, right? And people are looking for it, especially during this pandemic. But then when you look at the slide, you got to question why, right? I mean, nearly 1 in 3 US households don't even have coverage at all. Almost 1 in 2 need more coverage. And this last bullet really concerning, right? If the impact of the primary income earner, if that person were to pass away, they're saying that 1 in 3 households would feel that impact within 1 month. That's a big deal. The second group of people that are out there is that there's people who've already bought life insurance, right? And so you look at those and you say, okay, there's 2 concerns I have around this group who already have it. One is their life is changing rapidly. And that's what you look at this gap, and it's showing how it's increasing each year. People are growing and getting better every single year, right? They get promotions, they're buying bigger houses, they're maybe having children. Their life is getting more complex as they get older and as they grow and as they get better. And if they're not adjusting their life insurance plan to these changes, it's going to have an impact. It's not going to serve the purpose that they're shooting for. The other thing that could also disrupt somebody's life insurance planning is that if they bought a product and they haven't been reviewing that product and it's not performing and doing exactly what they set it out to do, which does happen. So again, driving home the point and the key reason why sitting down with a financial advisor and going over and reviewing either your needs or your existing policies is very important. Another big area is a lot of consumers don't really know how much insurance they need. We will, in the virtual coffee break, kind of hit some, a checklist for them that will basically highlight and show them different things that they should be thinking about and looking for when it comes to life insurance planning. And this slide here kind of highlights some of those things there. Another important thing is really understanding the pros and cons of the different types of insurance out there. We'll dive into the advantages and disadvantages of owning cash value life insurance and the advantages and disadvantages of owning term insurance. And we'll also dive into why people choose to buy one policy over the other. Now, we all know, being in the life insurance industry, that life insurance has many amazing tax advantages. And this is an area that we definitely will not let your clients leave the coffee break not understanding the true value of tax-free death benefits, tax-deferred growth potential, and potential tax-free income. We know this is important, and we will be driving this home in the virtual coffee breaks. For this slide, we're really trying to paint the picture of the importance of doing a policy review, and not just the importance of bringing their existing contracts into your office and sitting down and having the discussion around, is this working and is it doing what you set out to do? We're going to get into the benefits of a life insurance policy review, highlighting the things like in-force illustrations, the importance of running those, addressing the shortfalls of the current policy that they currently have, and looking at some of those things, making sure beneficiaries are up to date, all the shortfalls that could potentially be out there. We will also ask a lot of questions that are going to definitely drive some thought around, do I have the right policy in place? You look at some of these questions here around the term insurance side, it'll provoke thought. It's going to create a sense of urgency. And we're doing this both for term insurance and for cash value life insurance. So as you look at these questions, why did you buy the policy? How much are you paying for the policy? These are the types of things that will, without question, leave your clients on the virtual coffee breaks wanting more information. And then lastly, you got to have a big close. And we'll again highlight the importance of choosing the right company when it comes to buying a life insurance policy. Making sure you have a company that has a long history. Well, I think this slide says it all when it comes to choosing the right company. I'm obviously a little biased on that one. So next steps. Yep, you guessed it, right? Set up an appointment with your advisor or with your GA. That's what we're driving. That's the message we're trying to deliver here. So, okay, you might be sitting back saying, this sounds pretty good, right? But does it really work? So when we built this thing, we had a lot of people at Pacific Life that kind of had their hands on this and helping us get this out, knowing the importance of helping our advisors bridge that gap between their compliance and the advisors in this virtual world. But the real proof is in the actual results. So this is the first time we're launching the light version of this, but we have a long-term care version that we launched about 3 months ago. And we're really, at each month, we have progressively been setting up more and more coffee breaks, and it's really starting to take legs. But just to give you some numbers, to give you an idea of how fast this thing has taken off, just in the last 3 months, we have touched the lives or partnered with 125 financial advisors. We've presented to over 650 clients, and we've resulted in over 45 sales, actual contracts, paid contracts. We have cases in underwriting still, we have submitted cases, and there's a ton of illustration work out there as well. So I'm convinced this absolutely works. And I think the biggest driver and why it works and why advisors and GAs are comfortable with something like this is that we're not being product specific. We are educating consumers on all the things they need to know around life insurance planning. So hopefully I got your attention. And if you're interested in a system that can help you market yourself, that can get clients' attention, that can provide knowledge to your clients that they clearly are looking for, and lastly, that will increase your client and FA engagement. If this is something that you think is interesting and something you want to participate in, then I'm going to ask that you reach out to your Pacific Life broad market sales team. I think you know these faces. They're some of the best in the industry. You got Brian Bulakaitis, a national sales manager, Michelle Kasoy, Carlin Snipes, Rob Bish, and our internal sales team. One, thank you. My name is Mark Pellicano. I really hope that this was helpful for you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the NAILBA. Thank you, and have a good day.